Hi, thanks for tuning in, and we have a special announcement today. We have some urgent action that you likely require. I have Alex here with me. Alex, say hello to everybody.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
We've been going through this Alberta Jobs Now program this morning, and we got some things that I think are really important, not for tomorrow, not later, like now, now, okay? So what we have with the Alberta Jobs Now program, it's the potential to get 25% of wages covered for a full year to a maximum of $25,000 per employee, right?
Absolutely.
And it's not just wages, right? It's training as well, right? Yep. There's some specifics though on the training. It had to be direct, right?
Yep, has to be third-party training.
Direct third-party training, and it can't be apprenticeships. There's no apprenticeships. It has to start and finish in the same year as the grant. So you can't pay for someone's degree. That's not how this works. So just direct. Think like the safety course that you got to do to get them out on the site, right? So
Absolutely.
Kind of that bare minimum training that can be covered here too. Okay, so it's only for employees that were hired on May 19th or into the future. And into the future, 90 days from the approval of the application. So anybody you hired on May 18th, ineligible. It has to be after May 18th. So anybody you brought on since May 18th or you're going to bring on in the next 90 days, this grant is for that, potentially 25% of their wages. Okay, that's really important. Now, anyone, let's pretend you laid someone off and you want to bring that person back on, okay? The things are a little bit rough, cash a little bit tight, you laid someone off, maybe you want to bring that person on. Anybody who's been off for 90 days is considered new, okay? Legitimately laid them off, didn't game the payroll systems, you actually just laid them off and you want to bring that person back. If that's the case, that's where it is. So now, here is the other change in the program, 15 hours per week. This was a big change. Remember what the old one was?
It was 30 hours a week before.
30 hours a week before. So 30 hours a week was excluding a whole bunch of positions. You know, we have some healthcare positions where they're more casual. People are hiring people that maybe have other jobs. So 30 hours a week was pretty much, full-time, but now it's open for some part-time positions, okay? So anybody that's 15 hours a week or more, potentially 25%. Anyone you hired May 19th or after, if you're bringing someone back, 90 days, 15 hours per week, got to be bringing them on for. Okay. Now, how can you get paid out? There's a couple options on how you can get paid out. For most businesses, it's going to be 50% at 3 months and the other 50% at the end. Okay. But there's a new one now for new businesses. They're going to treat them slightly different.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're a new business, you've been around less than 6 months, the payout terms are a little different. They'll only give you 25% after that 3 months. Then you got to wait the full program for the remaining 75% there.
So the new businesses out there, and they're not quite sure, they're not giving you as big of a leash as the existing businesses.
Absolutely.
So that's 6 months, right? Now there's a couple of things. There's some risk. Alex and I were reviewing some of this, and they can change the terms of the program retroactively and then have you recall based on them, right? Like the agreement is completely one-sided. You would think any changes would have to be reasonable, but maybe that's myself as a good person, not as a government bureaucracy who thinks money grows on trees. So there are some risks in this, and the main thing here is that this is limited. There are only limited funds available. Okay. This tranche opened in November. It opened on the 10th, right? It opened on the 10th. There was a holiday yesterday. You got to apply like now. Like not this week, not next week, not in 2 weeks or something like that. They're saying it's limited funds. I have a feeling this is going to go very quickly. The first one went very quickly. A lot of people, didn't do the first one because one of the big things about this is there's no double dipping. You can't double dip. So you can't get the wage subsidy and the Alberta grant at the same time for the same employee, right? So the wage subsidy or any other subsidies, the big one, the wage top up for like childcare wage top up, it actually, excludes you from this. So if you're hiring someone from a daycare and you're getting that wage top up, looks like the rules are excluding you from this program. So that's really crucial. So a lot of people, didn't apply for the first one because the wage subsidy was a much better grant. What I would say for majority of all of the of all of the employers out there. But now that the wage subsidy is, pretty much at its end at the end of October here, now this becomes kind of the default, subsidy that's available to, what they're trying to use to spur economic growth. So, you remember, I mean, how many calls? We've been getting a lot of calls from people asking about this.
Yeah, absolutely. Calls come through every week here.
And it's been closed. I mean, there's been nothing you could do for, I would say a couple of months now on this program. The first tranche, ended, and at the time the first tranche was there, the double dipping was, the double dip rule was already there. So, we were telling most clients it was best for most situations that they would do the wage subsidy, right? But in this case, this would be it. So there's limited funds. Now, the application, Alex and I just went through it. Not that complicated, right?
No, relatively straightforward.
They're going to ask for some stuff at the end, right? They're going to ask for some reporting. Clients of ours, we can help them with the reporting afterwards, but you got to get the grant in by yourself now, okay? You're going to have a preferential shot if you just get your name in there. So you have to log into your My Digital Alberta ID. It's just the basic one.
Just the basic one. You don't have to link it. You don't have to put your license information in there, anything like that.
Yeah, you just got to have the My Digital Alberta ID. Log in and get your information. Get in the queue, because it's pretty much being written from everything we can see. It's first come, first serve, right? And so, there's going to be some reporting after. We would expect after 3 months, they're going to ask for all of the pay stubs. And after a year, they're going to ask for all the pay stubs again. Now, there even is an option that you could ask for 100% of the money at the end. I don't know why you would do that. If you can get, 50% or 25% in the case of a new business at 3 months, I would select that option. It doesn't seem like it's going to be incredibly onerous to upload the pay stubs. These are documents you should be creating anyways if you're running payroll, right? So just get your information. Now, when you get in there looks like two options. Okay, so once you get in, you fill out all the information, you look at the types of roles that you're trying to fill, you answer some basic company information. There's nothing too particular in there. This can't be, this has to be arm's length employees. So not the business owner, not their family members, not related to the other business owners. This has to be arm's length employees, okay? So when you get in there, remember, this is anybody that was hired on May 19th or afterwards. So May 19th or the 90 days following your approval for the grant, okay? So there's an option that you can upload the employee's information right away.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look, it looks like your application is already in the queue, whether you do that or not. So your job, as a user, like today, the urgent part is just getting in the queue, right? Then the decision for you guys is, do you want to, if you already know this information, do you want to put it in, or do you want to put it in when you know everything, for sure, right? Because you can just create a new applicant one, right? Yeah. I guess a couple ways to look at it, right? Would the people who are going to approve or disapprove these grants, would they prefer to see that you filled some or all of the roles? Or would they prefer to see that you haven't hired anyone, and this is going to spur you to actually go through and hire them, right? I don't know. I mean, that's a guess. I would say, I would put, especially if you're hiring multiple positions, and if you filled some already and you're going to fill some more, I'd probably do that, because it shows like, how are you going to hire 10 people in the next 90 days? That's a tough role for most businesses to do it, to hire 10 quality people in the next 90 days, right? It's also been extended. The program is also extended for people who come on to work for you that, were working somewhere else first, right? The first iteration of the grant only applied if they weren't working, so they were unemployed, and, they were...
You had 30 hours a week.
30 hours a week. So unemployed, and you had to be bringing on full time. So it was a very narrow. Now it's open up a bit more. It's open that if they were previously employed. Now, the website says if you have a business need. The application, the actual, specific guidance, it didn't elaborate on what that business need or define someone who is employed versus unemployed after. There was nothing in that. So, my question to the Alberta government, if you're watching here, I hope you are, why else do businesses hire employees without a business need? That would be my question. If anybody wants to answer that question to me, like if you're a business owner, the only reason I have ever hired people is for a business need. So, why are you hiring people for not a business need? That would be my, I'm not sure what that means exactly, right? So to me, it just means like, if they were employed before, I'm hiring because I need them. So it's now open for that. So you want to be sure on this. So remember, this is, this could potentially really move the needle. We always talk about businesses. You grow your business by, you buy more ads or you hire more people. That's generally the solution to a lot of business problems, right? And some people, you might have been on the fence, like, can I actually afford that new hire? Okay, well now it's close to 1 out of every $4 is going to be covered by the Alberta government if you're approved for this. So it might get you off the fence and help you make that business decision on that employee. So, we generally invest in ads and we invest in people, and those are, the ways we move our businesses forward. But time here. You just got to get in there. You'll be done this thing, and I would say half an hour.
Yeah, that's generous.
Half an hour. You don't have to put all of the employees' information in. That's extra. You could do that later. Just get your name in the queue because it looks like first come, first serve. This is important. You got to do this thing today. If you're a client of ours, we can help you supply the payroll information later, right? The pay stubs. That looks like that's all it is. But, we can't go back in time and submit this before the grant money runs out. So hope that's helpful for you guys. Love to see the businesses taking advantage of this. We pay, crazy amount of taxes here. So anything that comes back to the business owners can actually help them grow businesses. 53% of all the jobs in Canada are created by small businesses. So let's make use of this one. Thanks very much, and hope to see you watch another video soon. Thank you.